Welcome to the Conception Channel podcast.
Meditation to optimize fertility and your chances to get pregnant. Probably one of the most powerful tools that you have. So for anyone facing challenges trying to conceive, it doesn't take long to understand the basic biology behind the mechanism of how stress can negatively impact fertility. So in summary, the physiology of any animal in distress results in the same end. Valuable resources intended to nourish and strengthen the reproductive system are reallocated to vital organs for survival, like the heart, lungs, brain, big muscles, which leaves the fertility deficient. Okay, this impacts egg quality, ovulation, uterine receptivity, etc. Okay, so once we realize that stress is so impactful, so starts the search for ideas, tips, tricks, hacks, techniques, lifestyle choices, treatments, and therapies that might deliver on the promise of reducing stress and therefore improving fertility. This inevitably leads all people to the vast blossoming world of holistic medicine and healing, which is a necessary component not only to the success of your journey to get pregnant, but also for a life of health, well-being, limitless potential, and fully realized, spiritually fulfilled. Today, though, in this video, we focus on what I believe, to be one of the most important tools and elements in any person's life, if they want to achieve their dreams, but in here specifically to enhance fertility. And again, that's meditation. So if you're one of the many who might be saying to themselves, I've tried meditating, it was hard, didn't work for me, I don't have time, then today's your lucky day. By the end of this video, you'll see meditation in a new light, something that's easy to integrate into your life, easy to do, and knowing that it's something you just can't live without, especially if you're faced with a challenge in life, particularly health, and in this case, specifically infertility. The first point I want to make is this. Built right into a meditation practice is its own failsafe. In other words, the more you practice meditation, the easier it gets. So more specifically, meditation supports neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, so the growth of new brain cells and new neural pathways, which is exactly what's required for any person to create change in their life. So therefore, meditation facilitates the ability to change behaviors and belief systems. This is precisely why if you simply stick with regular meditation, even if it feels like you're not getting anywhere, kind of like learning to play the piano, it takes a long time, your biology will shift to make it easier over time to deeply install this new behavior, as well as any other habits that might be required for you to overcome, other challenges that you face in your life. So if you're wondering what else can I do, to optimize my fertility, in my opinion, today, besides breathing and drinking good quality water, getting good sleep, meditation is something to start today. And there's a couple of meditations that you can get online today. One of them we've got a discount for that are in the comments if you're on the YouTube channel here. So just pop down there, click on that link, use the coupon code PENTLAND, and to get 10% off. That's Angie Online, Circle and Bloom. Both great places to start. But we're going to talk about the different aspects of meditation here and the different styles, etc., so that you can find the one that resonates with you. But if you're saying, I can't turn my brain off, this is typically the next complaint that gets covered when recommending meditation. My answer to this is, I know I used to have that difficulty as well, for sure, and some days I still do. This is why it's necessary to expand our concept and definition of what meditation actually is. So too often meditation is simply thought to be sitting in an uncomfortable position and completely clearing your mind, going into a Zen state. So if this is your definition, then I understand how difficult it probably has been, and I'm excited for you because your concept of meditation is going to change. And this will be key to unlocking your potential, to developing your own meditation practice, and all the benefits come with it, including the fertility. So simply put, meditation can be any time spent in quiet, mindful awareness, contemplation. In other words, meditation in many ways is like exercise. The Buddhists refer to the mind as a muscle that needs training, and it is fact. Okay. You can't expect to just go to the gym one day and be in shape, so you've got to keep it up, and you will get better at it, and your mind will get stronger with it and be able to handle life better, etc. Okay. I encourage you to have fun too with your meditative practice. It's super important. Too often it registers with, new practitioners as something that's boring, maybe, and it might not be for you, but I doubt it. It's for almost everybody. And you might try and sabotage yourself and say, I don't really desire to participate in this, or don't have time for it. But if you make it fun, it's a lot easier to incorporate into your life. And if it's done right, you should be left with an insatiable desire for the next time that you can find a little pocket in your day to dedicate to meditate. So remember, all those who have reached the pinnacle of success in their lives, career, contribution to the world, they'll all report having cultivated a strong meditative practice. I almost guarantee it. I mean, there are exceptions to every rule, but to achieve higher levels of success in this lifetime, meditation needs to be a piece of the journey. So it's time to start yours. We're going to talk then about, some ideas to help get you started with now. So just start with 10 minutes a day and commit to always being searching for ways to increase the time you spend in meditation. Okay. Some days you won't get to it. Other days you'll have, set aside time that is just like a reset button. And if you can get outside, even better. Anyway, this is key to life. Maybe so many are missing. So like I said, number one, guided meditations. These are probably one of the easiest first steps in visualization, breathing. These are fertility affirmations, that you can find in your app store. I personally love Jon Kabat-Zinn. He is a mindfulness master or guru, but, Headspace, Calm, Muse, all these tools are also, and apps are also fantastic to experiment with. But Circle and Bloom and Angie Online, again, links in the notes. These are fertility specific meditations, and they even get into specific conditions that may be impacting fertility, loss, miscarriage, and then pregnancy as well. And so use the links below and coupon code that's in the notes. YouTube's also full of free, meditations that are instructional videos to help you with guided meditation or just ambient music that you can settle into. Whatever you choose, just use it, and then if you don't love it, try a different one. Zen is the one we spoke about as well. A little bit difficult to attain. People spend their life trying to get to this place, but as you practice, I had a Tibetan monk explained to me at one time, if you look at a meditation as a line, when you start, you might get a micro blip or two of clarity within that time. And as you practice, you might get a couple more of those over the years, and they may expand, in duration. So it's a practice, it's a muscle you've got to develop. So Zen is sitting quietly and totally trying to empty your mind. It's really difficult, but worth trying. Sometimes obviously we want to kind of get a bit of that reset. All kinds of physiological changes happen when we can breathe deeply, relax, and calm our mind. So another type of meditation would be just simple reflection on life. Sitting, laying down, or walking slowly is fantastic. In quiet, just inviting happy thoughts from your past. Let them drift in and out, and really no judgment. Just kind of be with yourself, thinking about life. That's I think a lot of people that tend to stare out a window. That's and are content doing that, that's their meditation. They are contemplating existence. This is one of my personal favorites. I could sit and look at a forest for hours and hours. This is a practice of people like Bill Gates, and like him or leave him. A lot of people just love to sit and contemplate. It might be the journey of a hunter in the forest. But it's also a good idea maybe to, if you want to be more active with something like that, keep a notepad handy, and if ideas flow, write them down. It might be a really great tool if you're creative and you want to start cultivating that creativity in your life again. Another style would be to visualize and plan an ideal day. So sit on the couch early in the morning before the rest of the world kind of pops into action. Take the time to plan and actually visualize your day, how it's going to play out. This quiet organization will help you step into your day with more peace and less anxiety, because there's a knowing of what you're going to be doing. There's a common body scan relaxation that is a type of meditation. This is pretty classic, when you kind of scan your body for where you might be holding stress, and consciously breathing into that area to try and relax it. Okay. You can also sit and start at your toes or at your head and go to the opposite end, taking a breath with each body part and relaxing it as you go through it. That's a nice one maybe to do before bed. Another style of meditation would be to contemplate goals in life. So if you're like me, I always have very specific goals I'm working toward, no matter what project or skill set or thing I want to accomplish. Maybe stopping a behavior or installing a new mindset, reaching health, financial targets, whatever it might be. Just time dedicated to closing my eyes and thinking about and visualizing these goals manifesting and being a part of my life is important to do. And that would apply very specifically to fertility as well. Exploring habits, both good and bad. So sit or lay or walk, again, whichever, in quiet reflection of the habits that you carry with you each and every day. Once you're aware of a habit, you can put your hand in the air, lean over, pat yourself on the back. If it's a habit that serves you and helps you with life and your health and your fertility, but if it's one that's self-destructive and creating a constant self-sabotage cycle, be honest with yourself and shine light on that dark corner so that it no longer has control over you. You're looking at it, you can name it. It's time to get real with it and kind of be honest with yourself. That is when and only when a bad subconscious habit will no longer have control over you. A basic meditation technique is breath work. So I consider my breathing practice to be separate from my meditative practice, but they can go really hand in hand. I think when you incorporate breathing into a meditative practice, you can get it even deeper, quicker. You can shift your physiology more quickly. You can obtain clarity. In terms of meditation, it seems to be more for the mind, and breathing has a bit more of a pronounced effect on the body, but that's just my basic 30,000 foot view. There's so many breathing techniques, but the bottom line is it's important to practice deep breathing more consciously. So thought through. You go through your day breathing, but to do it consciously and to take the nice deep breaths throughout the day. Best way to eliminate stress, be grateful and do some breathing. But my favorite is box breathing. It's very simple. Navy SEALs use it to calm themselves, so it should work for me and most people. It's 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold, all through the nose. There's things like Wim Hof method and holotropic. There's a million kinds that you can try. A lot of yogic styles like 4-7-8, which I also really like, fire breath, etc. Just experiment, look, breathe more. Another is Qigong. Qigong is a traditional Chinese kind of the foundation of their martial arts, which steps into Tai Chi and then Kung Fu, but it's very rooted in their healing arts as well. A personal favorite of mine. In my opinion, one of the most powerful forms of meditation to cultivate energy by meaning of the word Qigong. It's when you go down the rabbit hole, there's so many different styles of Qigong, but I encourage you to find a good teacher. Learn the fundamentals and then go home and practice. That's what my, master always used to say, just practice, go home and practice. Mindfulness is one we touched on. For the cultivation of a deep mindfulness practice, I recommend learning from Jon Kabat-Zinn. He's got many books, but he's got great apps too, and most of the time they're just quiet. I love it. I've recommended these to patients for years. I love mindfulness because it's basically just invites you to be very passive, non-judgmental participant that does nothing but focus on the breath and observe yourself, and the thoughts that float in and out of the mind, kind of almost floating above yourself and just watching what's happening. It's really, really great. Creative flow is another style for the creatives out there, exactly as it sounds. Calm your mind. I call this flow. When my creative mind literally drags me into a wonderful, peaceful, creative thought process about projects I'm working on or things I'm learning or ways I can further support people in my practice. It's fantastic. And a device that's really great for this, if that seems to resonate with you, is the Muse. It's something you wear and it kind of reads your brainwaves. It teaches you when your mind is active and when it's not. It is a really cool tool. So the Muse might be something to jump into today. Enjoy the birds. Transcendental meditation, you've probably heard this. It's sitting or laying, again, in solitude. It's really kind of mantra-based, repeating statements that guide and train the mind. Admittedly, I've done very little transcendental meditation, but, it's another style that I will visit when I'm called to it. Gratitude is probably another one of the top meditative styles for myself and my family. It can be done and shared amongst people. You'll just, when you're grateful, you'll just settle into a state that is very meditative, very parasympathetic, very fertility friendly, very good for health and well-being in every way, shape, or form. Simply think about things you're grateful for, everything from clean water to, loved ones to, the clothes you wear and the roof over your head to, everything that you can think about, your pet, your eye, your sight, your hearing. You want more of something, be grateful for what you already have. Mindful walks are amazing. Just, I try and encourage people to walk as slowly as they can. It's hard. Try it. Look at the flowers, smile at people when they walk by, actually smell flowers, watch the clouds roll by, walk as slowly as you can, feel the bottom of your feet connecting to the earth. It is super powerful just to go out and walk slowly, enjoy the sun, the rain, whatever's kind of around you. You can breathe, you can do the grateful. There's so many other things you can add into that as well. Just enjoy and be grateful for your environment and be in it. Just be mindful, walk slowly. Labyrinths, if there's any in your area, those are super cool. You don't have to think because they guide you all the way to the middle and then all the way back out. Really neat idea. For walking meditation, prayer, obviously, for those of you out there who do it or feel like they should be doing more of it, wonderful habit and meditation. Talking to God or the universe is an important tool. I feel like often prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening, as you kind of got to do both, in my humble opinion. Blessings, we always give blessings in our family to people who are, might need them at that time, and to remove yourself from your own needs is also very good for your physiology. And those people may really feel that intention and love that you're sending their way. Yoga is probably one of the most popular. I don't have to get into that, especially the Shavasana at the end. Unbelievably beneficial and a great way to sink in. Probably one of my personal favorites, and what you can superimpose over any of these is to do it in nature. I feel a profound calling to be in the forest with the trees. I think they're very grounding. They're rooted. Nothing is more rooted than a tree or the fungi that are around us. I don't think anyone can argue that. More time in nature, fresh air, sun. It just find a stump, a rock, just sit there, just hang out, just let nature take care of you. If you're taking care of nature, it'll help you want to take care of nature, and it becomes a really beautiful cyclical relationship. You could try float spas, floating. Pretty interesting. Sensory deprivation and floating. Interesting idea. Playing a musical instrument or singing, humming, chanting, all these things are really great meditative practices for a lot of people. I really recommend singing, humming, and chanting for the lung chi for women who have gone through pregnancy loss. Just there's reasons from a traditional Chinese medical perspective that would help. There's a device called the Apollo. There's a device called the Aura Ring. These things can help. Some tech. I also encourage people, if they're open, to explore plant medicine. This should obviously be done under proper guidance and is gaining in popularity. Plant medicine can be used for meditation at microdoses, like psilocybin and some of these things that are being researched more and more these days to help support growth, neurogenesis as well, growth of brain, and help with change, and to maybe overcome some past traumas. And finally, acupuncture, last but not least. Obviously, at yin still, its effectiveness at releasing the beta endorphins into our spinal fluid, resulting in increased parasympathetic activity, is second to none. It's the foundation to how we promote fertility, relieve pain, reduce stress. If you have, just go out and try acupuncture if you haven't done so already. So anyway, in summary, I know this video's got really long, and my dog's trying to get me off here. So review this again. I'll put these notes into the YouTube description, but they won't all obviously be able to get there. But if you got questions, please ask them. But just jump in, start meditating. It's going to be one of the best things that you've ever done for yourself and your fertility.